So I've had a request to do my Paul McCartney CD collection, and this request has come for several weeks from one of my subscribers, Eddie, so I am going to comply with that right now. I'm not going to go in depth into each CD just because there are so many of them, but I'll just show you what I do have, and we're going to start with Paul McCartney's first album, self-titled McCartney, where he played all the instruments himself. Really love this album. This is one of the first solo McCartney albums that I was ever exposed to, and I love the fact it's almost like the White Album in that the songs, there's some throwaway songs, there's some really great songs on here also, but it just doesn't take anything too seriously. This is the Paul McCartney, what do we call that, the Archive collection. This is a 2 CD. It's got some bonus tracks on here. One of my other favorite, maybe my all-time favorite Paul McCartney albums is Ram. This was the original CD issue on Capitol. And then I've also got the 2-disc Archive collection here. This is Wildlife. This is the original issue. It's got a couple bonus tracks here. It's got Oh Woman, Oh Why, which is a great song. Mary Had a Little Lamb, which I played for my kids as they were growing up. And Little Woman Love, also not a bad track. And then this was the Archive collection, which was released in 2019, I'm pretty sure. And Res Rose Speedway, I'm not a huge fan of this particular album, but this has the bonus tracks I Lie Around, Country Dreamer, and The Mess. This was going to be a double album, but Paul, at the request of the record company, pared it down to a single album. This is the Archive collection. And then this is the Archive collection, Band on the Run that I have. And also, I'm going to step away for a minute because I also have this CD, which is, it's almost like a box set. It's the 25th anniversary, I think. Some anniversary. And this opens up kind of like George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, when he did the remaster, the whatever that was, 30th anniversary of that. It's sort of the same deal. And this has some interviews and things on it also. Venus and Mars, the only Paul McCartney album that my dad owned, which is curious because I don't think it's by far Paul McCartney's best, but again, it was one of those early Paul McCartney albums that I was exposed to post-Beatles. This is the Archive collection version of that. I got Wings at the Speed of Sound. This was the original Capitol issue of that. This is also released, the Archive 2 CD collection. And then this is the Archive collection, Wings at the Speed of Sound, which is a great triple live album. And then London Town, this is the Paul McCartney collection, the only one of these like this that I have. And actually, when you open this up on the booklet, the first page of the booklet has the full cover of the album on it. Wings Greatest, the first Wings, or even Paul McCartney solo greatest hits compilation. And this was Wings Back to the Egg, which, you know, decent. I don't even know that I'd rank that in my top 10, but it's all right. And then McCartney 2, one of his more experimental albums. Hoping that someday I'll get the Archive collection version of that, but right now I don't have it. This is Tug of War. The Archive collection version of that one, 2-disc with a bunch of bonus tracks. Pipes of Peace. archive collection, Pipes of Peace, which, you know, I don't. Some of these archive collections, to be honest with you, I don't know that I've actually listened to all of them. I kind of just buy them because I'm a collector, and then eventually I get around to listening to them. But I have to say, this is one of the ones I don't think I've actually listened to the second disc on. But one of these days, I will have to. This is Give My Regards to Broad Street. I don't hold out any hope of this ever getting released anytime soon in the archive collection. I think it's not a big favorite among Paul McCartney fans. Same for Press to Play. If this ever gets an archive collection release, I'll be shocked. I tend to think that they'll probably do London Town and Back to the Egg before they'll ever get around to releasing any of his mid 80s stuff. This is the best compilation, which is a great place to start if you're just a Beatles and McCartney fan, I guess. This is Flowers in the Dirt, which I love because it has one of my other favorite artists on it as well, which is Elvis Costello. And this has some of their demos together on the second disc of the archive collection. Same for, well, actually, we're not there yet, but this is the Tripping the Live Fantastic CD. This also has some Elvis Costello stuff on here. The best stuff on here, in fact, is, I think, the stuff that he collaborates with Elvis Costello on. And I did see him on that tour at the Pontiac Silverdome. First time I saw Paul McCartney live, even though we were like way far away and he was like that big. This is the Unplugged. And Paul is live, which I didn't realize he was not actually on Abbey Road. He's standing on like apparently a picture of the Abbey Road, which is a recreation of the obviously Abbey Road photograph. I know that's been remastered, but I do not have that one. Flaming Pie, the most recent. This is the original issue. And then I just last week got the archive collection. I do enjoy this album a lot. I don't think it's like, I'm not as huge a fan of it as some other Paul McCartney fans are, but there's a lot of stuff that I do like on it. This is the single for The World Tonight, and it's got the Ubu Jubu stuff, which is entertaining enough to listen to on the back. Run Devil Run, great album. Paul kind of getting back to his rock and roll roots. Then I've got this, which is the Working Classical. I really, you know, I'm not much of a classical fan, but I love the stuff on here. My favorite track on here is A Leaf. I just love that track to death. And also there's some orchestral version or classical versions of Junk and My Love, Warm and Beautiful, Golden Earth Girl, Calico Skies, Maybe I'm Amazed. So a lot of his you know, solo stuff he reworked in classical versions on here, which I love the hell out of. Some people hate this album, Driving Rain. You know, I like the song Driving Rain, and there's a few things on here. I wouldn't say I loathe it. It's definitely, you know, near the bottom of my Paul McCartney albums. This is the Back in the USA. Obviously, this is the 2-disc version. And then the awesomely great Paul kind of finding his muse again with Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Can't say enough about this album. I think it's his best work maybe since Band on the Run. And then this is kind of an interesting jewel case here for Memory Almost Full. I've never before or since seen another jewel case quite like this, but I really like this album a lot. Only Mama Knows might be my favorite song off this album because it reminds me, it's almost like a Wings song. This is the Wingspan double CD set, which has got some great stuff on it. And then another live album. This is the Amoeba Gig, this is the remastered version. Kisses on the bottom, which, you know, it's pleasant enough. I can't say I listen to it very much, but you know, whatever. There's no such thing as bad Paul McCartney. And then New, which was his great album that followed that. Love that one. And last but not least, this one didn't want to come out, obviously, Egypt Station. So that's my Paul McCartney CD collection. I hope it did not disappoint. I appreciate all your comments. Thanks for subscribing, and hope you're all doing well and staying safe.